I'm going to be presenting to you my POL presentation. It's by me, but when I was coming into this, I'm kind of the overview of the project for you because it contributes to skills. I really didn't understand it because I was kind of thinking about the one we did in 8th grade if you weren't in 8th grade. It focused more on the things we did, not the skills. But I think this year, doing the skills, it's a lot more meaningful and you really think about it more. So my first skill was teamwork, and as teamwork, we worked in the course, we worked as a work table, we worked the hydroponics, we worked the infographics, and that's huge projects of teamwork. And our group was successful with corresponding tasks, communicating, and just allowing everything to run nicely. Some things that challenged us was planning ahead and preparation. If you know me, I get ahead of myself a lot of times, and I really do more. I kind of look too far ahead and do stuff that's not needed. Some things I need to do to improve is to just take it by step, to not think as fast, and So my artifact, I think it's a triangle. You may think that's not really a good artifact, but in Mr. Kaneko's in this year, we learned that an artifact is the strongest geometric shape. And I picked this because there's 3 other members in my group, and that shows that as almost like a group, we're the strongest. My second is time management. Time management was a thing I really still have trouble with, but I think I greatly improved on this year. Some things I learned on how to do with time management, I learned to conserve time, and I now do not crack under pressure as much. What was I successful with? Well, I was successful with when we went to Home Depot, we had to find multiple items, and as with time management, we were thinking we're not gonna make the deadline because we were having a hard time finding like one item. And to do this, we split up into partners, and partners we found everything in time and we did it more efficiently. The thing that challenged me was staying on one item for too long. There's one item that we could not find, and it was the glue. And it took us forever, but in the end we found it. So, my artifact is a picture of us after we finished finding everything at Home Depot, and we're happy because it was really hard because our thing needed a lot of stuff. So communication. So as a group, we've made a group chat, and it's kind of really helpful because as a group chat, we can ask each other for homework and we can discuss stuff. And it's kind of like it integrates you as a group. Instead of being kind of farther away, you can put everything in one place where everybody can see. So from what I've learned in the skill of communication, I've learned to communicate better, to communicate in an orderly fashion, and that communication and everything, and even with teamwork, it's the key to success. Everything will break down if you don't have communication. For example, our hydroponic system, we had a few considerations when the things we would cut stuff that we didn't need, and we would think, oh, why did we cut it? We should have waited longer, and that sort of stuff. So as a group, we were successful with staying in touch and just being connected, but some things that challenged me were not the communication part, but I don't know if any of you guys have you guys ever played telephone where you pass the thing down, how much it differentiates? The hard thing was getting the correct information communicated. So I picked this screenshot of our messages as my artifact because it really shows how as a group we have connected into being communicated, and how I think communicating is the key to success. So independence. So independence is a big thing I learned this year. Usually last year it kind of like be that little fish on the bottom of the shark, just kind of like go with the flow and not kind of sucker off everyone else. This year it kind of switched. I kind of enjoyed being independent and working harder by myself. So some things I've learned to be independent is, for one, time management's a big thing when you're independent, because if you get sidetracked, it's not going to end well. Another thing is that when you're independent, you have to keep your mind focused. Another thing of time management. Some things that I was not good at too was whenever I see a notification flash upon my iPad, I always go and say, oh, let's go look at this. And I'll just go like for 30, 40 minutes and just mess around. And it always turns out to be a few hours. Then I never get any of my homework done. So that's my big problem. But, so I want to improve on this now because I realize that if you're not independent, you just sucker off people all your life, nothing's really going to happen with you. So, and I picked my poem for our Congo project poem because so if you're not in my class, my first thing that I did, it sucked. And I couldn't present it. I stuttered a ton, which I'm still stuttering now, but I've gotten better at it. But, so this I did in a day, but I worked really, really hard and did it independently. And then that day I came into Miss Calibro's and she really liked the poem and I did it all independently. So I'm happy. So my last slide, I think, is the most important, biggest skill I've ever learned. So, how many of you guys like your shoes? Like, how many guys, who likes shoes here? So, shoes cost like around $70, $75. Have you ever thought about that your parents pretty much buy you a new pair of shoes every day for you to go to school? Yeah, it's a lot of money how much they spend a lot of money. Before this year, I kind of took school half-hearted and thought, it's not a big deal, it's not like, it's only middle school, but this year, like, with all these projects in MPS, like going to Home Depot, it kind of brings the realization, are we really wasting this much money? Are we really this rich, and do we really think this way? Like, in the beginning of this second quarter, in my English grade, I had a D-, and in my science grade, I had an F. I now have a C+ and a C, I think, in them now. So that's a great, great improvement. I'm still bringing it up because they haven't put in all the big grades, but now I've kind of felt like, well, like there's people in our grade. Have you seen the people that really don't try, really don't do anything? They're kind of like slugs. They don't have, who wants to be a gas station attendant most of all? Nobody? Well, with my grades in the beginning of this quarter, that's what I was going to be. I kind of realized that the only way, because I want to be a dentist, the only way I could be that is to do really good in school. And I've never really had that motivation. And I finally realized we're 3 years away from our life. And these 3 years, it's kind of like a domino effect. If you screw up these 3 years, you screw up the rest of the life. So I want to do the most I can to not screw this up. But the only way I could have done this is my artifact, MPX. Because with MPX, we've done all these real life situations, and it's kind of helped you realize. In standard, you'd only realize, oh, we're doing all this content and stuff. And MPX, it kind of offers the flip side of that. It offers you learning skills, it kind of helps you realize what you want to do in life. So when we went to Home Depot, we saw all the money and stuff, and we thought, oh, I know some people were like, $300, that's so much money, and thought, but at the end we only spent $150, and we thought, does stuff really not cost that much? But with MPX, it helped me realize that how much money I actually wasted of my parents. Because I've gone to private school my whole life except for preschool and kindergarten. And thinking about it, these last 3 years I really have not used it to my full potential. It's kind of like just throwing money down the drain. And I really, after this semester, I really hope I can keep going upward on an upward slope and rise to the occasion and have a good future. Thank you.
Any questions for Matt? Matt, what was the best part about putting together this assignment? What did you enjoy most about the POL experience?
I think the script, the script. I like that because it kind of gave me, like, I saw some people just paste their outlines and stuff in. I can't really, if you know me, a few weeks ago when I did a Congo project, I tried reading straight off the paper and I kind of like can't do that. So I kind of almost just put bullet points, and it really doesn't look like a script, but it is to me and it helps me a lot and it helps me.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Matt.